Hello everyone, I am Geeta and welcome back to our channel TechWorld with Preet, where we embark on journeys through the ever-evolving landscape of technology. Today, brace yourselves for an exploration like never before in Crafting the Future, the rise of generative AI in the digital age. It's like having a digital artist as our buddies. Before we unfold the marvels of generative AI, let's rewind the tape and explore the evolution of technology. As we traverse the tech timeline, from the clunky computers of the past to the dynamic digital age we are in now, each era has paved the way for what we are about to witness. From the information age to the era of artificial intelligence, machine learning, we have dived into the depth of supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning, each playing a crucial role in shaping the path to where we stand today. Imagine a world where machines don't just process the information. That has revolutionized the way machines think, create, innovate, and brings idea to the life. But today's spotlight is on the groundbreaking realm of generative AI, a force that's reshaping our digital landscape and crafting the future we never thought possible. But today's spotlight is on the groundbreaking realm of generative AI. It's not just about processing data, it's about mimicking the natural process of creation. Deep learning from artistic neural networks to the specialized players like convolutional neural networks. This is in short called as CNN. Recurrent neural networks. We are delving into a new chapter and we find ourselves in the era of generative AI. Generative AI is not just a concept, it's a practical powerhouse transforming industries. Next, we will see about the generative AI real use cases, how these are useful in businesses. You can think of generative AI use cases in conversation agents that don't just understand but respond in a way that feels human. Anomaly detection. Business applications that range from personalized content creation to streamlined processes. And it's not just about business, it's about unleashing creativity in the visual art. Generative AI crafts entire scenes, video, and more. But let's not stop at the theory. Let's look at real world examples like ChatGPT, developed by OpenAI, revolutionizes conversations, while DALL-E reshapes how we visualize ideas through image generation. There are several tools available in the market where you can use this generative AI to create the contents. Some tools are freely available and some tools associated with the cost. In the next video, we will discuss more about all the generative AI tools which we can use for free versions and which we can use for the cost versions. But why should everyone jump on the generative AI bandwagon? The impact on businesses is immense. It's not just about survival, it's about thriving in the digital age. From dynamic content creation to personalized experiences, businesses are tapping into the creative potential of generative AI. Empower individuals to generate text, images, video, and music. We are witnessing a democratization of creativity where everyone can be a creator regardless of technical expertise. But with the great power comes the great responsibility. As we revel in the capabilities of generative AI, we must navigate the ethical and legal dimension. From the intellectual property rights to the data privacy, we will delve into the complexities to ensure responsible development and usage. Apart from this, what do you think? What sets the generative AI apart? How does it intertwine with its predecessors? Artificial intelligence lays the foundation. Machine learning refines it by enabling systems to learn patterns from data. Deep learning amplifies this capability. using neural networks for complex tasks. And here comes the generative AI, the artisan of digital world, creating something entirely new. Now let's meet the real star of the show. Generative models like GANs and VAEs. These are like superhero duo creating things we did not even know we needed. GANs are like artists in a battle trying to outdo each other to make the coolest thing. VAs are like tech wizards playing with hidden spaces to come up with awesome surprises. So get ready for a wild ride as we explore the world of generative AI. It's not just about machines intimating us, it's about machine joining the creative party. Questions everyone asks: is generative AI a threat or an opportunity for my business? How can I use generative AI to gain a competitive outcome? How can I use my data securely with generative AI? And many more. What does the future hold for generative AI? The possibilities are limitless. We anticipate advancement in creativity, problem solving, and personalized user experiences. As the technology evolves, so will the ethical standards that guides its development. Generative AI will continue to evolve with developers pushing the boundaries of what's the possible. Ongoing innovation will open doors to new applications and industries, further integrating AI into our daily lives. Whether you are a creator, developer, or enthusiast, your role in shaping the future of generative AI is crucial. Stay informed, engage in discussion, and contribute to the ethical and responsible development of AI. As it builds on the foundation of AI, ML, and DL, taking us into uncharted territory of creativities. Generative AI can make mistakes too. It might create a castle that does not quite look right, or a song that sounds a little off. But that's okay. Just like us, it learns from its mistakes and improves over time. With more experience, it gets better and better at creating. But here is something important to remember. While generative AI can create amazing things, it does not truly understand what it is creating. It does not experience the joy when it writes a touching story which is feeling inspired, or when it paints a beautiful sunset. It does not understand these human emotions and experiences. It's like a toy robot building with blocks. It can make a pretty castle. It does not know why the castle is pretty or feel proud of. What it's built is the fantastic world. It's a testament to human imagination that we have built machines that can emulate our own creativity. So it observes, learn and create. Every day we will hear about artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and more importantly, generative AI. Let's try to understand all of these things in one shot. How all these things are related with each other and how we can club together to understand in more detail. Let's first discuss about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence refers to the development of computer systems that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. This task includes learning, reasoning, problem solving, perceptions, speech recognition, and language understanding. Now let's discuss something about machine learning. As we can see, machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence that involves the development of algorithms and statistical models that enable computers to perform tasks without being explicitly programmed. Machine learning focuses on the ability of machines to learn from data and improve their performance over time. Deep learning is a subfield of machine learning that involves neural networks with many layers. These are called as deep neural networks. As you can see here, there are several layers: input layer, hidden layer 1, hidden layer 2, hidden layer 3, and then output layer. So this is called as deep neural network. These networks are capable of learning complex hierarchical representation of data. Deep learning has been particularly successful in tasks such as image and speech recognition. For example, you can classify this car, the car, and there are several objects, right? So here it will try to find the neural network for this car object, and finally it will able to locate this car object. This is how we can see the neural networks are used to create the image recognition. So for this image, they will create different networks as we have discussed, and then it will able to recognize the cat. So for any of the images, first it will try to find out using the networks. So for example, in case of finding the specific face, it will create a neural network across this face. Generative artificial intelligence is even more advanced form. Generative AI refers to the use of AI techniques to generate new content such as text, music, images, videos, and even entire conversation. This involves training models to understand and recreate patterns found in the data they were trained on. An entire conversation. Businesses are exceptionally excited by the possibilities of specialized generative AI models because they can be trained on the organization's own corporate data, and they can collaborate with knowledge workers to dramatically boost productivity. An example of generative AI is chatbots, which has taken the world by storm thanks to their ability to write human conversation text. They can explain complex idea synthesized from the vast volume of information on which they are trained. In business, they can help to write an email and presentations, help ideate new marketing campaigns, and much more. Generative AI has launched new era in technologies that promises both greater productivity and new ways to solve business problems that simply were previously not possible. If we can summarize this, artificial intelligence is the broader field of creating intelligent machine. ML is a subset of AI focusing on machine learning algorithms, and deep learning is a subset of ML using deep neural networks. And generative AI, it involves creating models that can generate new content. These terms are often interconnected, and advancement in one area often contribute to progress in others. We will be discussing now about the AI evolution from past to present. The initial era was known as rule-based system era. It was in early 1950s to 1980s. This era is marked as the early days of AI, where the emphasis was on creating rule-based system and expert systems. This system were programmed with explicit rules to perform specific tasks. Let's see some of the examples of AI. The state space search paradigm received early attention from Newell and Simon, who developed a system called GPS. GPS stands for the General Problem Solver in 1960s. They follow some steps by deduction and induction. Statistical learning era. This era is from 1980s to 2010. The field shifted toward statistical methods with an increased emphasis on probability theory and statistical learning algorithms. Classical machine learning techniques such as decision trees, support vector machine, Bayesian networks gain prominence. We can consider some of the examples like the development of systems, Mycene expert system for medical diagnosis and the use of decision trees for expert systems. Then there is something called as machine learning era, which is from 2010 onwards. This era is combination of machine learning with big data. With the explosion of data, the focus shifted to leveraging large data sets for training more complex models. The advent of big data technologies and the availability of massive amounts of labeled data. The rise of machine learning applications in various domains. The example we can consider is the widespread use of supervised learning algorithm. Supervised machine learning is a branch of artificial intelligence that focuses on training models to make predictions or decisions based on labeled training data. Unsupervised learning algorithm. Unsupervised learning is a type of machine learning where the algorithm learns from unlabeled data without any predefined outputs or target variables. And reinforcement learning, where some input raw data is used and some other factors are included like environment, agent, and finally the output is generated based on this information. So as we discussed, these are the three majorly algorithms used during machine learning: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. And these are used to develop some applications, for example the recommendation systems where users can recommend, they can buy, they can like, watch, dislike different sorts of applications which could be smartphone, singing, moving or camera, and then they can recommend this to the recommendation system. Then recommendation system will get this feedback and it will generate accordingly the output. It started slowly recognizing the images as well. And the natural language processing. Deep learning era. This is also considered from 2010 to present onward. Deep learning emerged as a subfield of machine learning, emphasizing neural networks with many layers. And these many layers are called deep neural networks, particularly with the use of GPUs to significant advancement in tasks such as image recognition and speech recognition. We can think of some of the examples of deep learning models for the success is the CNN, that is convolutional neural networks for image classification. So as you can see here, there is a pixel of image which is fed as input of bird, and there is different layers like input layers, some hidden layers and the output layer, and based on this it will recognize this either as a dog, bird or cat. And for using some sequential tasks, recurrent neural network was used. This also compromises of input layer, hidden layer and the output layers. Generative AI era is present from 2010 onwards. Generative AI involves creating models that can generate new content such as images, text or music. Generative models like generative adversarial network model and generative variational autoencoders models gain popularity, enabling the creation of realistic and diverse synthetic data. We can think of a deep dream, a computer vision algorithm that uses a convolutional neural networks to find and enhance patterns in images. The above mentioned eras overlaps and advancement in one era often contribute to development in subsequent eras. The field continues to evolve rapidly with ongoing research and technological breakthroughs. Generative models such as generative adversarial networks and variational autoencoders are the types of machine learning models are designed to generate new data samples that resemble a given training dataset. These models have been particularly successful in generating realistic images, but they can be applied to various types of data including text and music. Generative adversarial networks. This is also called as GANs. Generative adversarial networks were introduced by Len Goodfellow and his colleagues in 2014. The idea behind GAN is to train two neural networks simultaneously, a generator and a discriminator. The generator creates synthetic data and the discriminator evaluates whether the data is real from the training set or fake generated by the generator. The generator aims to produce data that is indistinguishable from the real data, while the discriminator aims to get better at telling real from the fake data. The generator and discriminator are trained iteratively in a adversarial manner. The generator improves its ability to generate the realistic data, while the discriminator get better at distinguish between the real and the generated data. If we consider the examples, GANs have been used for image and video synthesis, style transfer, image to image translation, and more. They have been applied in fields such as computer vision, arts, and entertainment. Variational autoencoders. Now let's learn something about variational autoencoders. VAEs introduced by Kingma and Welling in 2013. These are the type of autoencoder that aims to learn a probabilistic mapping between the input data and a latent space. Unlike GANs, VAEs are based on probabilistic model and are designed to generate new samples by sampling from the learned probability distribution in the latent space. VAEs consist of an encoder networks that map input data to a probability distribution in the latent space and a decoder network that generates samples from this distribution. This model is trained to minimize the reconstruction error of the input data and regularize the learned latent space to follow a specific probability distribution. VAEs has been applied to tasks such as image generation, data compression, and representation learning. Both GANs and VAs have their strengths and weaknesses. GANs often produce very realistic samples but may lack control over specific features, while VAs, on the other hand, provide more control over the generated samples but might produce samples that are less realistic compared to GANs. Researchers often explore hybrid models that combine the strength of both approaches. Generative models continue to be an active area of the research with ongoing improvement and applications in various domains. Generative language model learns about the pattern in languages through training data. Then based on some text, they will predict what comes next. And also we have generative image model. It produces new images using techniques like diffusion. Then based on the prompt or related imaginary information, they transform random noises into images or generate images from the prompts. In this example, we will ask ChatGPT to write a story for a lion and a mouse in a jungle and write a prompt template which we can use to generate any AI video and image generation. So you can see how beautifully it is writing this story and then it has provided this template also. There are several OpenAI video editors are available where we can use this template. I am using the Moon Valley and as you can see here I am copying this template from the ChatGPT and I have copied this inside the prompt template. And also we can give the option for style as 3D animation and duration as maximum long time. And once you click on this enter, it will create a short video for us. Once the video is generated, we can see the entire template and the output of our video. This is how our video looks like. Generative AI use cases. Generative AI is useful in many use cases. For example, content generation. In content generation, we have different possibilities like text generation. For the text generation, we can create human-like text for content creation, including articles, stories, and creative writing. We have code generation. Auto-generating code snippet or entire program based on user input or requirement. Then we have the language translation. Translating text from one language to another while preserving context and style. The another use case we can see is image and video generation. Image synthesis, generating realistic images from the textual description or modifying the existing images. We have artistic creation. We can create digital art, paintings or design. And then we have video generations, generating video content, deepfake creation or video synthesis. Another use case we can think of is conversational agents. For example, chatbots, building conversational agents that can understand and respond to user queries. Virtual assistants, developing AI-powered virtual assistants for tasks such as scheduling, reminders, and information retrieval. The next use case we can think of is anomaly detection. Fraud detection, identifying fraudulent activities by recognizing the patterns that deviate from the normal behavior. And security monitoring, detecting unusual patterns or behaviors in network traffic or system logs. Another use case we can think of is data augmentation. Here we can do some data synthesis by generating the synthetic data to augment training datasets for machine learning models. And also we can create variation of images to improve the robustness of computer vision models. The next use case we can think of is drug discovery. Molecule generations. We can design new drug molecules or materials with desired properties. Chemical synthesis planning. Generating plan for synthesis of complex chemical compounds. The another use case is game development. Character and world design. Creating characters, environment and game elements. Procedural content generation. Generating game levels, landscape or scenarios dynamically. Generative AI can also be used in case of design and creativity. Logo and graphic design. We can create logos, graphics and visual elements for branding. Also it can be used for product design, assisting in the design process for products and prototypes. Generative AI is useful in music composition as well. Music generation. We can compose new music or generating musical elements. Remixing and adaptation. Modifying existing music to create variation or remixes. The final use case we can see is healthcare. In medical image synthesis, we can see generating synthetic medical images for training diagnostic model. It can also be used for patient data generation, where we can create simulated patient data for research and training purposes. As we delve deeper into the generative AI, it's essential to understand the legal and ethical dimension that come with this cutting-edge technology. Generative AI often involves handling personal data. We need to ensure compliance with privacy laws and regulation to protect user information. So, exploring how generative AI intersect with intellectual property rights and understanding the implication of creating and using AI generated contents. We can also consider mitigating bias for fair outcomes. So, addressing the challenges of biases in training data and algorithms. What are the strategies for ensuring fairness and minimizing unintended consequences? All these things we need to consider. Transparency and explainability. The importance of making AI system transparent and understandable. Ethical consideration in explaining AI decisions to users. The role of developers and organizations in being accountable for AI outcomes. Establishing the ethical guidelines and responsible AI practices. This will help us to maintain the accountability and responsibility. Compliance and regulations. Adhering to the relevant legal frameworks and regulation in your region. Understanding the global landscape of AI regulation and compliances. User consents and control. The importance of obtaining informed consent from users, providing users with control over their data and AI interactions. Discuss the concept of ethical AI pledge or similar commitments, encouraging the AI community to prioritize ethical consideration in development. In conclusion, balancing innovation in generative AI with legal and ethical responsibility is key. As creators and users of AI, we play a vital role in shaping a responsible AI future. Become an advocate for ethical AI practices. Share your thoughts, engage in discussions, and contribute to the responsible development of AI. As we wrap up our exploration of generative AI, it's clear that we are on the cusp of new era in creativity and innovations. We have witnessed machine evolving from mere calculation to creative collaboration thanks to the generative AI. Generative AI is reshaping how we think about the creativity in the digital age. It builds upon the foundation of AI, ML, and DL, taking us into the uncharted territory. Real world application demonstrate the incredible potential of generative AI. Ethical considerations are vital in ensuring responsible development and usage. As we wrap up, remember that success in generative AI is not just a destination, it's a continuous journey of innovation and creativity. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of generative AI. Stay tuned for more updates, deep dives, and exciting content as we continue to explore the frontiers of technologies together. Ready to embark on your generative AI journey? Subscribe for more insights and join the revolution of creativity and success.